So, as far as I can tell,
it said on my screen.
I think we're live. Is it? Just let me have a little look on my phone and see.
Yeah, I've just had a Facebook notification to say that we're live.
To say that we are live. Well, gentlemen, anybody who's tuning into this right now, welcome along. If you are watching it later on a replay, also welcome along. As you've probably heard me talk about in the past, the guys that I tend to work with, they are more, shall we say, they are more kind of private individuals, successful, don't really put a lot of information on social media. Some of them aren't even on social media. They're kind of private people. So it's quite rare, and it's a real kind of pleasure that I've managed to, I don't want to say persuade, but asked one of the guys who's literally just finished working with me for 6 months. We've managed to persuade Paul to give us 30 minutes of his time so he can talk a little bit about his kind of experiences. Maybe you're watching this and you're kind of sat on the fence and you're thinking, do I invest? Do I not invest? Maybe you've tried a bunch of programs. Hopefully, if you watch this, and you'll hear a little bit about Paul's experiences and the kind of differences, think we've made to his kind of day-to-day life. Maybe it'll kind of nudge you a little tiny bit. Maybe it'll kind of help you with your kind of decision making. So, as cheesy as this sounds, Paul, would you like to say hello and just tell us a little smidge about yourself, please?
Certainly, no problem. Hello, everybody. I'm sure some of you will know me, but my name's Paul, as Danny said. I'm 52 years young, and I'm a former Royal Marines Commando. I'm a former police firearms officer, specialised for 20 odd years in the police, and I've always prided myself on my appearance. And what I perceived of my appearance, and obviously I'm a very active person, but I, for want of a better word, I let myself go. I let myself down, and I got in touch with Danny several times before I went onto this plan. I did several different things, but yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Very active. I'm retired now. But working harder than I've ever worked in my life before, shall we say? I've never answered so many emails in my life as I do now. And anyone who knew police will tell you exactly the same.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So do you know what I find quite interesting? You touched on the fact there that you've done in the past. You've done a couple of our kind of, should we say, low barrier to entry, the lower investment side kind of. Yes. Programs. So what kind of made you decide that now was the time? What happened? How were you feeling? What made you decide that now is the time for you to kind of put your big boy pants on and for you to kind of invest? What were you struggling with? What was the issue kind of, before we started to work together 6 months ago?
Well, I'd say it's probably 10 years in the making, maybe more. I worked shifts my whole life, and the 2 o'clock in the morning feed frenzy would always come in. Your body, you shouldn't be awake at that time of night. Your body needs sugars, you need this, that, and the other. And like many people, fell into the trap of, I need it because of this, I need it because of that, and you make excuses as to why you need it. You don't need it. But you need something to keep yourself awake. And I fell into that trap over and over again. I'd lose it, put it back on, lose it, put it back on. And it's like I was a smoker many, many years ago. I haven't smoked for over 20 years, but it's exactly the same process. Oh, it's just a bag of donuts. It's just I won't be able to do it. I'll be able to kick them next week, and it is. It's that mindset that I'll do it next week. I'll start it some other time, and then for want of a better word, and to not be so crude, but when you're lying in the bath and you can't see your cock anymore, it's a bit of a trigger.
That's definitely a warning sign, isn't it? How are you? So how were you feeling about yourself? How were you feeling kind of mentally, emotionally,
Take your shirt off.
before we kind of started working?
Yeah, I wouldn't say, I would go to the gym, but I'd have a towel right around me before I went. I was just embarrassed. Just fucking embarrassed about myself, about me, the way I looked. I'd come home with a t-shirt tan because the pool would have to be emptied. No one there. Or find a really quiet place just to sunbathe.
So it sounds like the opinion of yourself, the way that you kind of felt about yourself, it sounds like upon reflection that was kind of creeping into kind of your family life, that was creeping into your kind of personal life. So the way that you were feeling internally was externally affecting your kind of behaviors on a day-to-day basis. Do you think that's about right?
Definitely. And I mean, it even got to the point where I'd say in the police, you'd make jokes about it, and I would eat more than I needed to, just because that was the perceived. Oh, Jonesy can bang his way through a Chinese and a load of chocolate biscuits at this time of the morning. And so, hey, and it was just why I dropped into peer pressure bollocks like that. I'll never know, because as an ex-bootneck Marine, you've got to have a strong mindset, and I just got to that point where I needed a full reset of values about me, not about everything else, about me. And again, I mean, I'd retired from the police at this point. Fortunately, I was in a financial area that I could invest in myself for the first time. I mean, I've got loads of children, love all my kids, but I was able to invest some money and some time in myself. And I thought, you've got one go at this. Do it. That's why I came knocking on the RAF's door.
Listen, won't be the first time. Won't be the last. What had you tried then? So you've just kind of spoke about the fact that you'd get changed at the gym with a towel around you. You wouldn't go in the pool unless it was, there was a certain amount of people not in the pool.
Yeah.
What had you tried in the past to kind of put this right?
All the different plans. I think the most successful plan that I ever got into prior to this was the divorce stress plan, because it just falls off you. But I wouldn't.
Failure.
I wouldn't push that on anyone. And that was it. I just didn't eat, but it's just that's just adds more stresses into your life and stuff like that. So, but I've tried the 500 calories a day, the fasting, the keto diets. I've tried different fitness plans, but when I've looked back on them and what you get from them, you'd almost get a negative from the outset. If you don't eat this, you're going to fail. And they're telling you you're going to fail. Mm-hmm. But I'd say 90% of the products that are on the market are very American, especially in diets. And you try and find half the stuff that they put in on diet plans and stuff like that, and they're very restrictive, very, very restrictive. I mean, there's no fun in them. There's no fun. You can't have any. Whereas with what we do, you can have your fun. You just got to plan it. You plan it in. So I'm going to have some fun on Saturday. So during the week, I'm going to eat this, and it's still going to be nice. It's still going to be delicious, and I'm still going to be able to have an ice cream. I'm still going to have a chocolate biscuit if I want to have it. I'm just not going to.
A lot of the it feels like a lot of these plans, one, they're not built for high performing guys. They're not built for family men. They're not built for people that don't want to live a a kind of crazy, restricted, difficult time. So I get you, man. I feel you. So if we kind of fast forward today, off the top of my head, I think we're 10 or 12 pounds lighter in kind of body weight. But I think what was your difference in your pant size? What did you go from, went from a 30 watt to a 30 watt?
I'm just shy of 12 kilos. Dropped.
Wow.
Bought
Amazing.
over 82.
Yeah.
The majority of that was in the first 12 weeks.
Yeah. I meant kilos and not pounds, because we talk kilos now. It's not 1997.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that it's interesting you say that. So we kind of focused quite heavily on the kind of the physical.
Yeah.
For the first 3 months, you dropped a bunch of weight. Your physique kind of completely changed, and then we spent the next 3 months. I know you were, your job role changed a little tiny bit.
Massive.
Down to your I think down to the kind of confidence that you'd found in yourself. You kind of put yourself out there. You got promoted a couple of times, but that meant that you were living in hotels. You were fucking driving from there to there to there to there to there. So the next phase was basically just teaching you how to live as a high performing, busy guy.
Yeah, it was, and making the right choices. So yeah, I'd say I lost 8. I'd say 8 of the kilos in the first 12 weeks, and then it's a nice steady. Sometimes I'll plateau, but what I've got from everything is, even when you put a pound, 2 pounds on, is don't fucking stress. Don't stress. Don't think, oh, fuck it, I fucked it all up. The whole weekend's gone. Or that's it, fuck it, I'm going to drink and eat all weekend, and I'll start again on Monday, because it's just bollocks. Just fuck it. I had a bad night. I had one bad night out of 365 in 1 year. Or in the in the 6 months that we've been doing it, 180 odd days. I've had 2 days where I've gone, bleh. But it hasn't affected me. It hasn't affected weight loss. It didn't. But the 3 pounds where I have put on is recently, when I took my kids camping for the week, and I had 10 days resetting with my boys in Cornwall.
Awesome, man.
We were living quite just very outdoorsy. There was no, I don't have a fridge that I take away. I don't have this. I don't have a cool bag, and I have enough to keep for 1 day, and that's it. I'm feeding 5 of us, so we just. I mean, I was having croissants. I was eating stuff, this, that, and the other, and half of it's gone this week since I've got back. So it's just the mindset now that that I've achieved going through this. Right, that was a bad day. That's shelved. It's gone now. The rest of it is now. I'm focusing on Saturday, because I'm going to a reunion, or in 2 weeks' time I'm going to Santorini for 2 weeks. But I've already started planning when I'm on holiday. I've ditched an all inclusive and reduced it to half board, because then there's no drinks involved. It all comes out of my pocket. It's all about putting it in your head, because we will, once we've had those 2 or 3 drinks, it'll end up 8 or 9 when they're free. When it's coming out your pocket, they won't. So I've built that into my holiday in 8 days.
8 days, yeah.
It is just about planning, and as you say, when you high performing, if you don't plan and you wing things, you will fail, because you fall out of the mindset if you try and wing it, and you've got to just plan ahead. You will drop off every now and again. However, just take it on the chin. That's it. Right. Back into my plan. That was my plan that was my plan. I've had a bit of a dip there, but my plan's still there. I'm gonna keep going with that, because the end game is, don't think, for me, it's don't think I'm going to do this in 3 months. I'm going to do this in 4 months. I just say, I'm going to fucking do this
now.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I started now. That's what I'm doing now. The end is somewhere in the future, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. And that's what, that's where I am with my head now, as opposed to, oh fuck it, I didn't do it in 2 months. I'm never going to do it. Where's McDonald's?
How different do you feel now compared to 6 months ago in yourself personally?
Well, I put this shirt on for a reason. For me, I feel brilliant. I feel really good. I feel I get compliments. I've had compliments from strangers. Went out for a meal with Mother Half, and just someone came up to me, wow, you look really good. Didn't know him. I'd a nice tailored shirt on, but I'd been waiting to have that. As we've spoken before, I've been waiting for 2 years to have that shirt made. It was a gift 2 years ago, and I thought, no, I don't want, because I look, like I'm carrying a wok around underneath my shirt. I wanted it. So this shirt I was wearing 6 months ago, and it was gaping there. When you sit down, it's like that,
straining.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking hanging off me.
Yeah, man.
And it's the same shirt. I was a 38-inch waist. I'm touching 32. I'm a 33-inch waist now. So, and one of the things again that we've touched on whilst I've been on this is, and I'm sure this will resonate with anyone that's listening, I used to keep my fat clothes. This is the only one I've kept. This is the only one because it reminds. This is the only reminder. Everything else that I used to think of, if I put a bit of weight on, I can wear them clothes. They all went in 3 fucking big bin bags and straight to the charity shop, and they're gone.
Yeah,
and they're gone.
It's that psychologically, that's huge. A lot of people they keep old stuff because subconsciously they can't let go of the person that they were, so they believe that that person will always be back. So you, like, kind of literally chucking the old you in the skip is powerful stuff, man. So if you could give us, what would you think your 3 biggest revelations, your 3 kind of biggest take homes from the last 6 months would be?
One would be, the process fucking works. Believe in it. Believe in yourself, because shit happens when you do. If you go in half-hearted, you won't get the results. So for me, it's the belief in yourself and the process that you're going into, that Danny's going to introduce you to. 2 is, don't focus on short-term goals and short-term gains or losses that losses. Yeah, you're going to lose, but don't think, oh fuck, I've not lost anything for 3 days. I mean, these things eat at you. Just jump on the scales every day. Oh, I'm still the same. Jump off, jump on the scales. I'm a couple of ounces heavier. It's fucking water. Don't worry about it. And then 3 or 4 days later, it's like, fuck me, half a pound's come off. Just believe in it, and just focus on today, and then focus on, you've got your goal that you're going to. Just focus on that. It might be 2 years away, but keep your focus on it. And really importantly, plan your days, plan everything, plan your meals, plan when you're going to eat it. Yeah. Don't worry about it if something happens. Like for me, the job I went into, I plan, but then I can be in a meeting for 4 hours. But now I tell them I'm eating when I'm in a meeting, because you think, oh, I'm a professional, I can't do this. And say, no, I've got to eat during this meeting. I'll answer you when I've finished what's in my mouth. Just plan. The planning is just really, really important. So important. If you don't have the plan, if you don't have a plan, or build a plan into your day and your routine, because once you start, if you join the program and you start seeing the videos that Danny's and the people he's partnered with, they're really powerful stuff. But it's all about planning and making sure that you do it and stick to the plan. And you can't go wrong. You will not go wrong. Stick to those three things that fundamentally, for me, have made this work for me. Different things will work for you, and you'll pick different things up from the guys that you'll speak to and you'll hear. And if you've ever got any questions, just shoot a message to Danny, because he will get back to you. It might not be in the next 5 minutes, but he'll get back to you with something positive.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. So I've kept you for, we've been just over 20 minutes. So I don't want to, I know you're a busy guy, so I don't really want to take too much more of your time. So we'll just finish on.
Yeah.
If there's someone watching this now, if there's someone who's listening to what you're saying and thinking, that sounds exactly like me, that I'm kind of feeling like that, I'm going through that kind of stuff. Maybe they've seen the kind of change in you, but they're kind of sat on the fence. Maybe they're concerned about the investment. What would you say to that person you've just got that little bit of apprehension? What would you say to them now?
I was in exactly the same boat. I saw this plan. It was for me. But again, like you said, it was the financial thing I don't know whether I can. I don't know whether I can afford it. It's you. It's your future. It's your life, and it's your family. It's not just you you're thinking about.
Yeah. Jump
in with both feet, because it's not just you that'll benefit. Your kids will benefit. My kids eat all kinds now. I just make meals. I found great recipe books from Ferd. Danny sends out great recipes, and you just put it in front of them, and they'll eat it. And it's fantastic. Take them on holiday. They're ordering fish now instead of burgers, and mussels. Mussels. It's fantastic, because they've got used to eating what I eat. It is a financial commitment, but it's a financial commitment to yourself. It's no different than you wouldn't think twice about investing in a fucking car that does nothing for you other than you think I look great in it. But when you look fucking great stood next to it,
that's a good one. That's amazing. Love that.
But it is. You might look great sat there, but all they can see is your face when they see you stood next to your fucking car. Mint. Just go for it.
Cool, man.
Invest.
Awesome, man. Listen, I really, really appreciate you taking time out your day. Hopefully, if you're watching this now, you found this useful. And we're gonna leave it there. Thanks, man.
No worries. Thanks for that, Barry.